What you're about to hear is the world's first dual cast of Pokémon Legends ZA. I'm the first in the world to cast battles in the new game Pokémon Legends ZA, and I quickly realised how useful it would be to have a co-caster, like in other sports and esports, and you'll see what I mean in just a moment. Enter Leo König, a professional Pokémon Go commentator and my good friend, and I thought we'd make a good pairing because Pokémon Go battles are actually far more similar to Pokémon Legends ZA battles. They're very, very fast-paced. There's no turn-taking like we're used to in the competitive video game, but some of the game mechanics are far more similar to how they work in the competitive video game VGC that I cast. So let's get right into our first cast, and thank you to my friend Moxie Boosted for the battle footage to cast over. It's time for another rank battle. Mega Altaria is here. It's floating on those clouds and taking us up to Cloud 9, but for now it's going to be extra real grounding things.
Another Excadrill lead here, opting away from the Metagross by the way. Still double Fairy in the back with Altaria Mega. Swords dancing, setting up, not getting interrupted. Huge start for Moxie.
And now charging down with a super effective Iron Head. Want to make the most of that boost while you have it available, but will the trainer give Excadrill the luxury of getting that off? The Drill Run though, predicting the switch, but the Xerneas is able to dodge.
This is a wild goose chase.
Yeah.
Try to not lose focus, trainer. They were so near each other. Moxie lost focus of that Xerneas, but now we're chasing forever. Nothing is happening here.
Nothing's happening, no KOs yet, but it's all about to explode as the Xerneas does get a boost to its defense. Moxie's able to set up another Swords Dance with this Shuckerberry Excadrill, meaning it can take a ground type move and take less super effective damage from it, and all of a sudden the green trainer and purple trainer on 1 KO apiece.
Ice Beam somewhere along the way. While we were only running somewhere, we apparently took so much damage. We're now at red health, trying to go for the knockout with the Drill Run, but retaliated.
Those were such fine margins there, but it was going to be the Excadrill knocked out before the Xerneas. And now switching into the Altaria, the reason we're all here, everybody, going for that Mega Evolution, Dragon and Fairy on the field. Faces down to Vaporeon, an interesting type matchup here.
Barely does not get the defense boost, by the way. Is now being chased by the Vaporeon, swaps in after taking an Ice Beam of damage, and now there's a Chandelure with Drill Run.
Ooh, not enough, and the Heat Wave able to respond with the KO. That is just how it goes sometimes. In a matter of seconds, the balances are switched.
Oh, that's one where I'll put my controller through the wall. This was so close to getting the knockout.
Oh, and the frozen Garchomp.
Garchomp is really not doing a lot here anymore. We need our Mega Altaria for that Greninja. Did we get the KO with the Play Rough? Yes.
I think we certainly did. The green trainer now with 3 KOs and the purple on 2. It's fairly even as we enter the final minute of this game.
Have the Altaria out again. Xerneas not really doing a lot in this match so far, dealing hefty damage to that Vaporeon, but an Ice Beam is collecting. We get the knockout.
The knockout is there. Now we're spawning Hydro Pump into this Xerneas. It takes it pretty well. Just going straight for the Moonblast. There's no Geomancy. It's just a calm mindset that Moxie's running here. You boost up quicker, but maybe a bit less heartily. The Garchomp not able to claim the kill onto this shiny Tyrantrum. I mean, you love to see it, but with the Dragon Rush, it certainly can.
Fast as it came, it's also gone. Tyrantrum already knocked out. Now we are trying to get some space here. Maybe set up the Xerneas later. We are on so low HP. Tries to go for a ranged Moonblast before swapping out, but no, we get the damage on.
The KO, but then Moxie is KO'd themselves as well. We're into the final 20 seconds of this game. Moxie had used up all their switches there. Let's see if they're able to stay firm with the Excadrill now. Super effective damage threatened on both sides, and the Heat Wave goes off first. That's going to be Moxie down.
Need one more KO to make it even 2 to win the game, but we aren't even alive here. The game is over. Making 3rd place, I suppose.
Let's see how the scores on the doors shape up, but that was such a fascinating, evenly matched game there. Yeah, just the green trainer edging in front with 5 KOs to Moxie's 2. We had so many volatile matchups as well, for example, between the Excadrill and the Chandelure. They threaten each other with super effective damage.
I think in this situation, you really can't go for the Drill Run. You have to walk up and Earthquake while the Chandelure is attacking you. Apparently, Drill Run does not knock out there, so if you deal 90% of damage, it is not going to help you.
I mean, I'm pretty pleased with that. That wasn't the first cast we ever did together, but for one of the world's first ever casts of Pokémon Legends ZA, yeah, I think we did a pretty good job. Of course, one thing that would be really nice is if we could do this together in person. That would be so helpful. The action is so quick-paced, and to be able to bounce off each other's energy faster like that, and of course have much quicker passes between us. There's a slight delay over the internet, so there's a bit of sort of politeness waiting for each other to finish, not knowing when we can jump in. So it would really take it up a notch if we could do that, but we work with what we can work with. It's also really nice to be able to have someone to decompress with after the game where there's more time to expand on things and explain for the viewers. I really liked our nice bouncy energy between us, and I think that's a real selling point of just being friends first and foremost. Hopefully, it was fun to listen to as well. And again, for casting over the internet, I think we did a good job of handling those hype moments. Another reason why it's great to have a partner to cast with is at this moment, I missed the fact that Moxie had missed the defense boost pickup. That's the glowing blue thing. It means that his Pokemon are going to be able to soak up more hits for a limited time. But Leo, when I passed over to him, was able to pick up on that, the fact that I'd missed it. 2 pairs of eyes are better than 1. Speaking of which, there is so much to keep tabs on during a game. You've got these on-screen messages to the right of the screen showing when an item activates, for example. You've got the timer counting down. You've got the scores to the left of the screen, the number of KOs each trainer has claimed, and that ultimately determines who wins the battle. To be able to have 2 people with their attention split between those things obviously is going to be more successful. And I think we did a good job as well of calling out, significant moments of the time ticking down when there's a minute left, for example, or the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 at the very end, as well as the scores on the doors at intervals. Having said that, in the end game, we could have done a better job of hyping up the fact that Moxie, whose perspective we're seeing the game from, only needed 1 more KO to ultimately be the winner of this battle royale. And that raises a bigger point about the fact that, of course, we're only seeing this battle from one player's perspective. Ideally, if this were to be cast officially and have official tournaments for it, I guess we'd be able to see a sort of 4-way split screen from each player's perspective. And this way, for example, I could cover 2 of those screens, Leo could cover the other 2. But again, we work with what we can work with. Speed is of course of the essence, and I'm very pleased with how I explained Calm Mind quickly, the effects of that move, so that we're not interrupting the flow of the battle too much, but important to explain for viewers who might not realise what the move Calm Mind does, for example. And inevitably, given that fast pace, there was some action missed, like there was a cluster of KOs about 45 seconds in. But again, the more we cast this, the better our practice at doing exactly that, disentangling those knotty moments. So let's get into our next game now and see if we can keep building. I'm Charlie Merriman, I'm Merry by name, I'm Merry by nature. We're getting into another battle between Moxie and these 3 trainers. I'm joined by Leo König, the Lionheart himself, roaring into action on the field right now, bringing all that courageous casting energy as Excadrill emerges from the ground.
Another day, another Excadrill lead, not playing the Mega Evolution of it, but instead having an item something like, we're going to charge up a Drill Run perhaps into this Delphox. This is super effective damage, immediately so much damage, picks up the first knockout for free.
It's a pretty frail Pokemon, and that's exactly why. Delphox is down, and the Excadrill, not enough to just skip that there, shall we? And we're gonna have an immediate KO from Moxie.
Excadrill putting in the work. Delphox again standing there, wants to be hit by super effective damage. Now Altaria is braving up a bird here, who's going to chase down. It's very short range, wants to get closer to Earthquake range.
Earthquake super effective. Can it land it onto this Delphox here? Nah, it's just going to be dodging out the way instead. Altaria, of course, hovering above the ground. It's not affected by those ground type moves. The Water Shuriken targeting down into the Delphox, and it's still pretty even when we look at the scores.
Play Rough connects, but only to a Greninja, dealing 70% damage. That's not too impressive. Follows it up by a Brave Bird to get the knockout. But as long as you're not same type attack bonus boosted, this Play Rough doesn't do too much. We swap out into the Excadrill. We take a lot of damage, but we can now bring in our Xerneas after connecting the Iron Head.
Ironhead and the Xerneas with the Life Orb. This is the most common set that we have been seeing, trainers. As Moxie switches in their own Xerneas now, is heading straight for this Delphox, this what looks like an Alpha Delphox, but Moxie's not in the best of positions right now.
Moxie's still leading, but we are switch locked. We have our Xerneas in there. We might need to try to pick up one more knockout here before fainting. Otherwise, the score might be leveled. But now this Delphox, it is charging up a little bit more. Soon, there's going to be a Mega Delphox, I suppose.
Mega Delphox, no, it's just going to be switching. The Excadrill's coming in instead. A great counter to this Xerneas here. An attempted Thunderbolt. Of course, the Excadrill taking nothing from that. And just able to claim the KO from Moxie there. The Excadrill on such low HP.
Going for Earthquake first instead of Iron Head makes us get a knockout with the Focus Blast before fainting, being switch locked with 20% HP. What you gonna do?
We're into the final minute here as the first partners stare each other down. Meganium and the Delphox attempted Brave Bird, but the Meganium switch, and now Mega Altaria is here just in time to resist Delphox's big hit. Delphox is brought down low, but not quite enough, and Altaria unfortunately is just immediately KO'd.
That might have been something like a Mega Mawile
nice.
With an Iron Head Sword Stance boosted. You won't take that. Excadrill being brought out here now by Moxie, charging up towards the Mawile. Mawile being swapped out here, dodging the Drill Run. Huge plays.
Dragonite here behind its shield and the Flamethrower, but the switch into the Altaria. We're entering the final 15 seconds now, and the scores, it's looking like Moxie's is ahead, but just about.
almost completely walling this Mega Altaria. Mega Altaria going for an Earthquake.
Nice.
Gets another pickup here, another knockout.
3 seconds. 2, 1. That's going to be it. That's going to be Moxie in the lead, just edging ahead there. And that was really fascinating because the Altaria, there was a point in the battle where it looked like it was just going down. It was looking really frail, but actually Moxie was able to capitalize.
I also really like the play of Moxie to Brave Bird in onto one Pokemon and then Mega Evolving immediately to avoid collateral damage, then going for an Earthquake to knock out the Delphox. That was fantastic.
We've got to stay a couple of moments ahead at all times. It's a good thing the battles are only 3 minutes because it's, just for those 3 minutes, nothing but the game exists. Overall happy with that. Again, let us know what you thought in the comments. It'd be really useful to read. So I think this was the 5th game that Leo and I had casted together overall, and the previous one was the 4th. These are 3 consecutive battles that I'm showing you, which kind of makes sense. You know, we hit our stride and we kept that momentum up. But also it goes to show, you know, that inevitably there was a bit of assimilating with each other's energies, not only our first time casting ZA together, but our first time casting together full stop. So that ad was very annoying. Who was going to get the KO? And then the ad break comes in, but we handled it the best we could, and of course that would never have happened officially at tournaments. So it's really nice to have a semantic feel to work with. In other words, linguistic elements that you can riff on. For example, in the previous game, Altaria with its Cloud Wings and Cloud 9. And in this game, Leo Online goes by König Lionheart and building up the fact that he's a courageous caster, and courageous caster, that alliteration of the C's as well. Stuff like that just adds polish and hopefully makes it all a bit more fun and soulful to listen to. Of course, there are a couple of things missed here and there, and there's an interesting question about, there were a couple of stop-start moments as well here, like here when Leo was talking about, Delphox going to become Mega Delphox, I suppose. I was just sort of waiting for that to happen or running around the map. So even though these battles are 3 minutes long and go by very quickly, there will still be a little bit of downtime to fill, and that's a place where we could expand on things that there's not ordinarily time to explain. The thing is, when you're presented with that empty space to suddenly have to fill, it's hard to rack your brains immediately in the moment to find something that's useful to talk about right there, because you're so in the moment watching everything that's happening, and suddenly you're sort of finding yourself at the end of the pier like, where do I go from here? I'm a poet and I didn't know it. So that's definitely something we can strive to keep working on. I think we had a great build and drama and energy in the final 15 seconds, and of course counting down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And in-person tournaments, I could see that being a thing that the casters do together, shouting out 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I can see that really getting the crowd going. Right, time for battle 3. Let's hope we can end strong. We're straight into it, trainers. Outside the Quasartico building, it's Extra Drill already on the field, and that's a Machamp staring it down, and a Powdon on the other side, galloping over.
Yeah, hey, Powdon, you want to get out of that. Diggs being cute. We dodge it with Altaria.
And speaking of Landman, of course, Extra Drill is right back on the field, but Altaria is going to be the one out at the moment. But Delphox, the switch, avoiding that Earthquake. Here comes the Garchomp instead.
What a dodge. Phenomenal. Now Starmie is out here, can't wait to see this Pokemon running around, and now we bring out the big hitters. Xerneas versus Garchomp. Are we gonna get a Focus Blast through?
And the Garchomp has access to Iron Tail, really nice coverage move to deal with those Fairy types, but now Excadrill's here, ready to get rid of this Delphox. Can it do anything with its nasty plot boost? No, it can't.
Nope, immediately knocked out. If you have 60% in an Excadrill staring you down. Oh, Mega Garchomp X Flare blitzing away the Excadrill before. Earthquake can deal any damage.
Yeah, goodbye Excadrill, but then it looked like goodbye Charizard as well in the face of that Surf. Here comes a Glaceon, setting up the Calm Mind, hitting even harder now. The Iron Head super effective, but Glaceon takes it really, really well. Galloping across the field, a Drill Run, but they hit Powdon switch.
Queue up another dig, but we are switch locked, so we can't go out into that Altaria. Oh wow, we weren't even switch locked, but now there is the Delphox almost dealing super effective 100% damage. Wow, what happened? I don't even know.
A couple of KOs in just a couple of seconds there between the red and the green trainer, and it's otherwise 1 for Moxie and 0 for the purple trainer. That's now 3 for the red trainer, another 1 for Moxie. They're climbing up through the ranks very fast, trainers, as this Altaria takes a Flare Blitz, and time for another Mega Charizard X.
Things are getting really chaotic, but we picked up a heal. Very good Dragon Rush from the Mega Charizard X to close the gap, getting the knockout on the Altaria.
We're entering the final minute here of this ZA Battle Royale. The red trainer is just ahead, but again, it could go anyone's direction. So Moxie is looking to claim those quick, decisive KOs. There's going to be the Delphox and the Mega Charizard taken care of. Will the Drill Run?
Oh, and Starmie Mega Evolves is on the chase now. Can it connect an Ice Beam onto the Mega Altaria? That was some big moves, but we dodged it all.
Well-timed Mega Evolution there from the Mega Altaria, and now that's going to be enough to secure the KO onto the Starmie. It's 4 KOs apiece for Moxie, the red trainer, and the green trainer.
Purple trainer is trying to get it together. We run ahead with 1 KO now. The Machamp not really doing too much with his bullet punch. Yes, it's fast, but no, it doesn't hit very hard. And now we Calm Mind Boosted Xerneas for the endgame. This is a prime position to be in while everyone else is fighting.
A couple more KOs claimed there by Moxie. Freeze Dry, fantastic move to have access to on the Glaceon against the Starmie. Another KO. 7 for Moxie now. We're entering the final 5 seconds of this game now, trainers. 4, 3, 2, 1, and it looked like Moxie had exactly the right idea there, just keeping themselves safe, running away from the damage. It's the final 5 seconds. You've already a 3-point lead. You may as well keep that conserved. Wow, what a battle. Fascinating to see the Mega Starmie there. I think Freeze Dry is such a great tech move there because it's great into the Garchomp, but obviously if there are only water types like that Starmie, then you're dealing super effective damage there.
Not to be a negative Nelly here, which I will, but I feel like Excadrill and Xerneas are doing a lot of work in this team combination.
They are, but, you know, it takes 3 to tango, as they say. And as you say, even if a Pokemon isn't dealing any damage, at least you can use the Altaria as the bait. So there are a few things I missed there. For example, in this moment, Altaria switched in on a dig, and Altaria is a flying type, so it's immune to that ground type dig move, which I could have hyped up more, and that would have been easier in person, just to be able to jump in with a quick, oh, look at that. Over the internet, of course, there's that slight delay that makes things a bit more difficult, but overall, I think I can be better at pouncing on moments like that generally. And then also this moment where Moxie was running over with Excadrill, facing down 2 fire types, Delphox and Charizard, and Excadrill has access to Drill Run. That's a ground type move that's super effective against the fire types, Delphox and Charizard. And Drill Run is a move that covers a certain amount of distance. That means that potentially Moxie could claim 2 KOs in one, just click Drill Run and you go through both of them. As it was only 1 KO that was claimed, but the point is, just hyping up that moment and Moxie's great positioning there would have been lovely as an example of a fantastic play. Also in person, I think Leo's confusion moment here where he says, what happened, I don't know, would have come across better. I think over the internet it can come across as just a little bit lost. Just because in person it's easy to hype up that chaotic energy and turn it into a positive. I also stumbled on my words. I mean, that happens, we're human and we move on. Just important to minimize that, I guess, in these 3-minute battle royales where everything's happening so quickly. Like with Calm Mind in Game 1, I'm pleased with this call out of Iron Tail, which is a useful tech move to have, super effective against fairies that are otherwise threatening. But don't get me wrong, overall I think we did a good job this game. I just think it's important to have a growth-focused mindset. And I think we did a good job generally for the first dual casts of Pokémon Legends EA. Look, as we saw there, even with 2 people casting, it's never going to be perfect. There are always going to be things that are missed. But generally, casting, commentating is a craft. There's always more to learn, there's always things you can improve on, and that's what makes it so endlessly fascinating for me as someone who does this professionally. And if you want to explore that much more deeply, you should definitely check out my video about commentating the Europe International Championships 2025. It's an epic deep dive, 2 hours long form. I give the story from the caster's perspective, how I utilize my drama school training in casting, breaking down that more classic Pokemon style of battling competitive video game VGC for everyone to enjoy, as well as just telling the epic tale of that event, and it really was one for the history books. And you can also check out the much shorter 15-minute video I did about solo casting Pokemon Legends EA recently. See how that compares to now casting in pairs. I'd be fascinated to hear your thoughts on how the two compare. Please do drop a like on the video if you enjoyed this first ever exploration of dual casting in Pokemon Legends EA. Likes do go so much further than it might first seem, and do subscribe to the channel as well for plenty more content like this. And again, it would be really useful to hear your thoughts in the comments as to not only your thoughts on the video, but the games that work well, how successful you think the pairing of me and Leo is. It'll be great going forward. And of course, also let us know in the comments if you'd like to see official tournaments of Pokemon Legends EA battles. Of course, assuming that we'd have a full-way split screen and everything's in place that needs to be. I absolutely do. I think they'd be so much fun. And casting with Leo really brought that home. I could just feel how things would work in the venue. Like what I was saying about the casters doing together the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 at the end of the battle. I think the energy would be incredible. So again, thank you to Leo for joining me and to Moxie Boosted for the battle footage to cast over. There's plenty more content on the channel. Check out the video description below for things that I think you might enjoy, and indeed the pinned comment. But for now, have a very merry day everybody, and I'll see you next time.